This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacey Van Dyke.
I'm Justin Betty. Severe weather has been causing chaos for many parts of the region tonight. We've been getting photos and videos from viewers sent in from all over. Check out this. That is like a camper tipped over. We've had trees uprooted from the Wahpeton area as well.
Eastbound I-94 is closed near Alexandria right now due to overturned semis from high winds. It was the same story across parts of the Dakotas tonight, according to the Department of Public Safety in South Dakota. As of about an hour ago, 6 high-profile vehicles were blown over and blocking I-90.
It's been messy. Let's go over now to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson for more of what we've been seeing so far and what's to come. Hutch.
Now, we're not quite out of the woods yet, but things look a lot better than they did earlier. And as we mentioned earlier, as these storms work their way northward, they're going into air that's more stable, and therefore the chance for severe has greatly diminished. Notice that as far as our tornado watches go, there's just a sliver left in Lakes Country. This is Clearwater County, Grant County, making its way, Fergus Falls, which is Otter Tail, and Becker counties. Those areas until midnight still have that tornado watch. We do have some stormy activity up near the international border. That's that main line that's pushed all the way toward the Canadian border right now. So here is the storm that made its way through the Fargo area, and we do have heavy rain continuing up here. So you know that we've had our flooding problems along that Pembina River. This extends all the way up into northwest Minnesota and Roseau County as well. So heavy rain, lightning, but the hail risk is pretty much done. We still could have some gusty storms, but the gustiest are really heading into Duluth right now. And this little batch right here, we're watching closely because it's moving straight north, and that's why that sliver of tornado watch remains in effect. Wind? Yeah, we had wind. Breckenridge, 67 miles per hour. Verndale, 94 mile per hour straight line wind gusts and extensive damage, and the reports continue to come in, and they likely will. So we turn our attention to rain. Now, the last 2 days, we've had a couple of rounds of strong and severe storms. Lakes Country picking up a couple rounds in different places. Anything in yellow is over 2 inches. Where you see the reds, we're talking over 4 inches of rain. And this is just ridiculousness here as you look into the Minnesota River Valley and parts of Lakes Country near Brainerd. Here's a look at your planning forecast for this evening. It looks quieter. The rain will continue. We'll have details on your forecast for the rest of the week, and we will also run down a few more photos and videos that you've shared with us during our wild night of weather this Thursday.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
And because of nights like tonight, it's a great idea to have that VNL weather app handy for forecasts right at your fingertips. You can download and use it for free in the App Store today.
I'm totally scared of storms now.
That's a sentiment shared by many in the area tonight. A severe weather ripped through once again. Here's a look at the damage from last night, where the National Weather Service now confirms a tornado touchdown in Coon Rapids. Several homes just split in half. The line of dangerous storms not only brought this type of damage, but also flooding, as well as several fires caused by lightning. The weather caused several power poles also to be split by lightning. Xcel Energy has spent all day trying to put new poles in, then transferring all the wires. That's a process that can take 5 hours, they say, per pole. Xcel says 700 workers have been working on repairs all around the state. Another 300 will be here tonight from other regions to help. You can contact Xcel at 1-800-895-1999 to report any downed lines.
All right, meanwhile, in Sioux Falls, the storm tonight created this apocalyptic scene earlier this evening. That wall of kind of cloud there, that's a giant dust storm. High winds also knocked down many trees and power lines in that area this evening.
New for you tonight, a baby formula shortage is impacting families all across the country, and you may have noticed there are recipes floating around on social media on ways to replace it.
But health officials warn to stay away from that stuff. Valley News Team's Aaron Walding explains.
These recipes that are circulating make me really nervous.
Stephanie Hansen, a pediatrician with Sanford Health, says families need to avoid using homemade remedies when it comes to baby formula.
They are not safe for babies. They are not geared toward an infant's nutritional needs, and they can be really dangerous.
One such recipe comes from the 60s. Other substitutes that have popped up include goat milk and corn syrup. But she says babies' bodies have specific needs. They also warn against diluting the product to try to make it last longer.
they get improper food, they can have problems with brain damage, with seizures, with kidney damage. It can really be risky to use those types of homemade recipes.
But the recent recall and subsequent shortages of formula is putting a lot of strain on parents.
It's like impossible to find it. So I would say mainly just nervous.
Melissa Oslin is a mother in Moorhead who sometimes gets help from others to get by.
It's giving him enough food for at least 2 more days. And so I'll take what I can get and help other moms, when I have some, hopefully if I have some left over.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
Hansen also says people should not hoard baby formula as the nation continues to face this shortage.
Also new tonight, the man accused of murdering Grand Forks police officer Cody Holty and his own mother is appealing his conviction. Solomon Pendleton was convicted on 2 murder charges after the shooting back in May 2020. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The North Dakota Supreme Court will soon hear arguments in his appeal next Tuesday, May 17th. A fatal crash to report tonight. Minnesota State Patrol says a 68-year-old from Waubun was traveling east on Highway 113 near when his vehicle left the road, hit a guardrail and landed in a pond in a ditch. Deputies haven't released that man's name. According to the crash report, the airbags deployed, but the driver was not wearing a seatbelt.
Nearly 30 people are without a place to stay tonight after a fire broke out in this South Fargo apartment complex. Happened around 11 last night just off University Drive. Flames, you can see, were coming from the 3rd floor attic when crews arrived. One person who lives there tells us they didn't know about this until someone buzzed all the units telling folks to get out.
They started just buzzing every single person, and so my neighbor, she said she started listening and she heard the person that was like on the 911 call saying that there's no alarms, the alarms aren't going off and nobody's out. And then some people were actually still sleeping in their beds when fire was on scene.
Fire officials say the 12-unit complex will need extensive repair work done before the tenants can move back in, but the Red Cross is helping those folks out. Still no word on what caused that fire. Happy Joe's will soon be Silver Star Car Wash. The owners of the South Fargo restaurant announced back in November they are retiring after more than 40 years. Their website says the car wash will be open sometime in August.
The state's annual law enforcement memorial service was held at the state capitol tonight. This week is National Police Week, and North Dakota's 66 fallen officers are being honored and remembered, including a West Fargo police officer who died on duty. Lieutenant Adam Gustafson died last May from a heart attack at the police station. Tonight, Fargo City Hall also lit up blue to pay tribute to recognize Peace Officers Memorial Day in North Dakota.
Still ahead tonight, doctors speaking out already about this year's tick outlook, and it's not great. One woman shares her life-changing experience with one.
And in weather, we still have active thunderstorms working their way northward toward the international border and some stronger cells to our south. We'll point out where these are going, what you can expect through the overnight. Look at a quieter 7-day plan. Your detailed forecast is coming up next.